what we are trying to do is to look at the problem under a solutions point of view. Of course, we are not crazy and we do not think we can solve climate change, but we think that there is room for finding some local scale solutions that can help the humanity to face this very relevant challenge. In this sense, what we have built with the first edition and what we are trying to improve with the second edition is a master where the students are exposed to, of course, some basic knowledge about the dynamics of climate change, about what is going on in planet Earth, what are the economics and social implications of climate change. But not only that, we want to focus our attention on the potential mitigation and adaptation solutions, and we want to do this by involving in a very strict network companies, because we believe that a major role in facing climate change from each and every viewpoint, mitigation, adaptation, a key point is the role of companies. Companies are very relevant for finding good ways to face climate change. We need their help and they need our help, because they do not have, in many cases, they do not have a profound enough knowledge of what is going on and how to face it. So with this master, I have to say we have an ambitious aim and a double aim. In a sense, the first one, of course, is to serve our students and to give them a better opportunity to find a nice job which corresponds to what they would like to do in their life. If you are interested in climate change, this could be a good chance for you. On the other hand, we also would like to build up a network involving the academy, involving the students, involving the companies. We believe that the knowledge that we are creating with this master is also very relevant to inform the actions and activities of the companies which are part of our network. You can see here, and you have probably already seen the basic program structure. The modules are subdivided into 4 blocks. The first one, which will start in January and will end in the first half of February, pertains with the preliminary courses where you will be exposed to the basic competencies and knowledge about climate change, about Earth observation, about policy and economics, about energy transition. So from this first part of the course, you will gain the basic knowledge that is essential for you to understand what is going on also in the other modules. The subsequent modules, the subsequent blocks pertain with mitigation on the one hand and adaptation on the other hand. So what can we do to mitigate climate change? What can we do to capture carbon dioxide? How can we store carbon dioxide? What are the technologies that can be used to do that? How can we measure the amount of equivalent carbon dioxide that is relevant to products and processes? So what are the methods for measuring the carbon footprint, and what is carbon trading, and what are the most important sectors that can be involved in mitigation strategies? So transports, so buildings, energy efficient buildings, and of course energy. renewable energy. Adaptation side of the problem, urban viewpoint. How can we adapt our cities in order to have climate resilient cities and communities? How can we adapt our agricultural system to climate change? So this food water nexus problem. How can we adapt the infrastructure system to climate change? And of course, inside all of that, when we speak about adaptation, extreme events are there. How can we find possible solutions to adapt to the increasing number of extreme events, hydrological extreme events, and meteorological extreme events that we expect with climate change? The final block pertains with the part of the master where the involvement of partner companies is a very strong one, because here we are speaking the same language as companies. So we are interpreting the knowledge that we have acquired in the other modules in a sense which is relevant to companies and industries. So how can we prepare a sustainable management plan? What is corporate social accountability, and how this is related to climate change? What is the impact of climate change on green procurement and sustainable supply chains? And also, how can companies comply with climate change by reporting what they do and communicating what they do, and how the economic system can evolve in the right direction by stimulating eco-innovation and social entrepreneurship. In all of this, companies are involved, but of course the role of companies is the most important in module 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. The second part, at the end of this part, we will have some site visits pending the possibility to do this. In the first edition, we had planned some site visits, but due to the COVID pandemics, we could not, in the end, perform to do that. So let's hope things will improve. These visits will be in July 2021. So we really hope we will be able to do these site visits. And the other very important part of the master is, of course, the internship, 500 hours, which means 3 months, more or less, from September to November or December 2021. The classes will be what you will read in the call for application is that we cannot tell you now if we will be able to have classes in presence, or we will have to use some online. We will have to go for online teaching. We can report the experience that we had in the first year. We had started in January and February 2020 with, of course, classes, typical classes, lessons in rooms at the Politecnico. But we had to change to online teaching, and I have to say that things were pretty good also using these tools. We would prefer to have you all here in Turin, because this is the best way to convey information in our view, because this is how we can. The lessons in the master will not be only lessons where you have a teacher and you are there and you try to understand what is going on, but there will be a lot of interaction. We want to stimulate interaction. In the first edition, we had 20 students, and the interaction level was pretty good. We want to increase, even increase this interaction, the level of interactions in the second edition. How to do that? Of course, by using non-standard teaching tools. So not only the typical situation where you have a teacher and you are there listening, but flipped classrooms and also exercises done together and let's say sort of homeworks, but then followed by discussion by the whole class. Uh, we are we had some very nice experiences in this sense in the first edition, and we want to have even better experiences in the second edition. This is the partnership, which involves a quite large number of large and medium and small size companies. Most of them are based in Italy. The large ones are, of course, Inel, EY, which is a consulting, Lavazza and Ferrero, food production, and Terna and Rina. So we have some very large companies, but in the second edition, the network is enlarged to also involve other smaller realities, because we do believe that facing climate change also requires having the viewpoint of small and medium enterprises, and all of this will offer some opportunities for you for the internship period. Also, the scientific partnership has enlarged, because in the first edition we had Inel from Foundation and ELIS. This year, this has been enlarged to the Italian Institute of Technology. They are working very hard on carbon capture and sequestration, and they will share their knowledge, and we will have an opportunity to visit their labs and to better understand what they are doing there. We are very proud to also have the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasts, which is the most important weather forecasting system in Europe. They are producing a weather forecast for the whole European continent, and they are responsible for climate modeling. So they will really improve very much our knowledge in terms of Earth observation and modeling, climate system observation and modeling. Career opportunities. So, of course, the objective that you have and that we also have is to finalize this master by granting you some better opportunities with respect with the one that you already have with your graduation paths. Is there a job market for people who specialize in climate change? What we can offer you, of course, we cannot tell you how the story has ended in the first year, because the people in the first year are now having their internships, and so I cannot tell you if there will be chances for them to be hired by the companies that are now hosting them. What we can tell you is that the market is very lively in Europe. With this is a relevant number. 24 million new jobs will be created globally by 2030. And this has been taken from the International Labour Organization, so it is a solid prediction. But even now, if you just browse climate change in LinkedIn, you will find out that more than 3,000 offers are there in the EU, and most of these offers are for specialized profiles. So we do believe that there is room for people with this kind of specialization, and there will be more and more room in the future. Some basic information about what you have to do to apply to the master. So who is eligible for taking part in the master? People from engineering, architecture, and geography, and science and technology, and you can see the whole list here, economics and so forth and so on. We are proud to host in our master people from a very vast expertise in terms of what they have studied. And in this case, I can tell you that the first edition has worked very well in this sense. We had in the first edition students from engineering, architecture, physics, and economics. And the interactions were really good. Of course, in some cases, some of the students were exposed to knowledge that was not very easy for them, but in the end, the system worked well. All of the students were quite satisfied with what they had understood by in this master course. The selection will be based on the motivation letter that you are going to write and include in the application. We will also consider the significance and the coherence with the master topics of the professional and formative experience that you already had. And we will shortlist the best candidates and make some online interviews with them. Timeline: the application the deadline for application submission is October 2022, so next week. The program will start in next January, and the whole process will end in December 2021. So the course lasts 1 year. The participation fee is 4,000 euros, including everything. We have 10 waivers for the total amount covered by our department, and 10 partial waivers covering half of the total amount. So we will make a ranked list of the students. The first 10 students will not pay anything for being in the master. Students from position 11 to 20 will pay half of the fee. Students in position from 21 to 25, because the maximum number that we are accepting is 25, will pay the full participation fee of 4,000 euros. This is the tentative schedule. We really still have to try to understand how to fix everything. We are contacting the potential teachers to find out the right solution. What I want to say to you is that, as you can see, each of the modules lasts 1 week. The reason for that is that in this by doing that, we are able to attract also professors who are not based in Politecnico and who are coming to Turing or who are giving their lectures online from the US or other places in the world. These are the faculties in the first edition. These are some of them, and these are other of them. As you can see, we have people from Politecnico, of course, but we have also people from other places we had in the first edition, and we will have in the second also people from other places who are the most important experts in the specific topics we will deal with. So you can see some of the names here in this couple of slides. Not all the teachers will also be in the second edition, but most of them will. So this is all from my side. As so I can stop the screen sharing. I think, as I told you, the most important part of this session pertains with the questions that that the potential students for the second edition can have. So we are here for that. We are here for answering your questions. So I think we can start with the questions and answers. I see if in the first edition we had quite a lot energy engineers, and I think they were quite satisfied with the master. Um, uh, of course, of course energy engineers, for some energy engineers, some of the topics that we are treating were already in their background, but from what I've seen in the first edition, it's only a small percentage, I would say. So if the question is, will I get more information with respect to my background? My answer is yes, of course. If the question is, do I have a sufficient background to understand what is going on in the classes? Again, my answer is of course yes. Energy engineers are very welcome, I would say, in these classes, and we had probably 5 or 6 in the first edition of them. There was a second part of the question. How does it work for the internships? We are asking to companies to prepare a one-page description of what they are offering to students in terms of an internship. What they are offering, I mean, what is the precise topic they want the intern to deal with, and if there is some salary for the intern, and where will be the if, where the activities will be held, and this kind of information. These forms will be shared with the students, who will have a possibility to select up to 5 of these offers. We will also collect the CVs from our students and forward the CVs to the companies, and also ask to the companies to select the students whose CV is potentially good for them. And at the end of this process, we will try to merge information so as to satisfy at the same time what the students would like to do and what the companies are searching. So in this sense, the internship is very much adapted to the specific background, because we will not impose to any student a specific internship, but the choice of the internship will arrive at the end of a complex process involving the students as a very relevant part of the process. Yes, this is a good question, because this is new for this year. In the first edition, we had a very nice 10 hours lecture by a person from ECWMF, but we couldn't make it to set things for having internships there. In this second edition, we will have this chance. So ECWMF has already agreed to host one or more interns for next year. And of course, yes, the master is going to include the climate some relevant information climate modeling in some of the modules. One is Earth observation, but also elsewhere we are including climate modeling informations. The question is if a full-time employee could be able to take part to be a part in the master. The master is a full-time master, so we are requiring people to attend to our classes to at least I think there is a percentage like 85 or 90% of our classes. So of course it is not easy to do that as a full-time employee. In the first edition, we had quite few students who participated in the master after being not just at the end of their studies, but after some very relevant job activities elsewhere. In one cases, we also had a student who could make it by taking a break, let's say, from his activity in a company. But I think this is the only way out. So the frequency, even if the course might be online, I think the frequency. It is important to participate in the classes and at the same time when they are held, because the interactions will be very important. So the master is not thought for people who want to follow classes only recorded in a second moment. I'm not aware of a specific policy from Polito to help students in this sense, but it could be a good idea. I'm not sure that maybe there is one. I can forward your question also to Scuola Master and to our stage and job office to understand with them if they already have something like that. It could be the case, but probably I'm ignorant. I'm not aware of it. No, it is not possible to apply with a promise of degree. Unfortunately, you will have to wait for the 22 edition of the master. There will be also a third edition. I can tell you that because this master has been created as a part of a project my department is involved in, and we have funds for also for a third edition, at least for a third edition, and we are rather enthusiastic about this master, and we see a good response from students. Also for this second edition, we are seeing quite a good number of applications from students. So I can tell you that there will be a third edition, but unfortunately we cannot accept students who are graduating in March 2021. Yes, this is a good question. Of course, there are chances for internships also in other companies or organizations outside the list. In fact, in the first edition, some of the students helped us a lot by finding themselves very nice opportunities. And this is, in my view, a great success of the master, because this demonstrates that we were able to create a community, and some of the companies that were that had been contacted in the first edition by students are now part of the network. What about NGOs and UN organizations? the manner how we have organized the master is focusing on the company's viewpoint. But of course, we are very close in some cases also to UN and FAO and NGOs. Some of the topics, of course, are very close to this. So the reason why you do not find NGOs and UN organizations in the list is that, at least in the first version of this master, we decided to focalize on companies. Climate change, of course, is a very vast matter, and it's not easy to find the right way to tackle it. We decided to follow in the first edition this path where companies are the focus, and so NGOs and UN organizations have been somehow left apart. But I would be very happy to have internships in NGOs or UN organizations, and I can also help with that with some of the contacts that I have. What I can tell you is that for NGOs, it is not that difficult to find chances. For UN organizations and FAO and this kind of international organization working on these issues is not easy, but we can work to find the right opportunities. I also have a background in hydraulic and civil engineering, so if I do, you also do. So let's say that I'm a sort of an expert in climate change now, but my background is the same as yours. So of course the background is good. What would be the opportunity for this kind of profile once the master degree is obtained? Is it a master? Yes, as an engineer, of course, the master is about climate change and sustainability. So, what you have to think is that the focus of your studies of what the focus will change a little bit with respect to what you have studied, and probably you will explore things that you didn't in your first part of your career as a student. But the topics pertaining with hydraulic and civil engineering, of course, are very much present in the master. For example, in the part where we are talking about extreme events, this is the role of hydrological events in this part is a very relevant one. The part where we're talking about adaptation to extreme events, the part where we're talking about the energy efficient buildings, this is all very relevant to civil engineers. We had a couple of civil engineers in the first edition, so this is not a problem at all. Not necessarily. In some cases, the companies are providing with a reimbursement of the expenses. In very few cases, I have to tell you that in the first edition we had a real salary paid by the companies. In some cases, the companies were not able to pay for anything to the students. This is something I try to negotiate, of course, with our partner companies for trying to have better conditions, but it has not been easy. It has not been easy for this year. I have to tell you that. Probably also because with the COVID pandemics, in many cases the companies are proposing the internships partially also as a smart work activity, and this complicates the situation. And in any case, each and every of the company have a very specific policy about internships. So, for example, Enel have a policy, and EY have another one. Some of them, for their policy, cannot pay students. Some of them can will pay for the accommodation. It really depends on a case by case. When the companies will provide for an offer of an internship, I told you that we will ask companies to prepare a one-page description of what they are offering. We will ask them to write there if they can offer a salary or not. So you will know if there is a salary or not. This is all that I can do. Unfortunately, it is not easy to find companies now that are willing to pay for the internships. I'm sad about that, but this is the reality. Okay, no, this is a second level. This is a second level master, which means that this comes for students who have a master degree and the master degree in climate change that we are also offering as a branch of environmental engineering at Politecnico. Partially covers some of the topics that are covered by this master. The added value of the master, of course, the master is a more intensive experience. Is also an experience where the students are exposed to more interactive, a more interactive kind of lectures, and where the interaction with companies is a more profound one, both in the teaching part and in the internships. So I think this can complete the instruction of a student who have a master degree in environmental engineering, let's say. If you already have a specialization in climate change, of course, some of the issues that are treated will not be new for you, but there will be many that indeed are new. Yes, partially, I would say. We had an idea to add a specific course on big data in this second edition, because this is something which emerged from interactions with Enel and with some other companies. They were asking if because they have problems with this kind of issues. In the end, we didn't add a specific module on this issue, but the specific, because we had thought that this would have been too specific for the vast audience of the master students. But of course, the issue of how to treat the relevant big data, for example, the outputs of climatic models, will be treated in good detail in the master. So specifically for the data which are relevant to climate change modeling, for example, or to carbon footprinting, of course we will give tools which are relevant to the big data issue, but we do not have a specific module on that. Not necessarily, no. They are, for example, of course, Enel has is all around Italy. The same applies to Terna, and the same applies to some of the other companies. Some of the smaller ones, we have one which is in Puglia. Some of them are in Torino, but not all of them, not at all. Thank you, Gustavo. Yes, maybe you can have a talk with Luciano. Gustavo is now in NL, and indeed he's he has a he's acquiring a very good knowledge about these issues. In the end, we in the first edition we were able to satisfy, I would say, all of the students, but maybe some of the students who are now in the audience of the first edition will say that this is not true. But I would say we were able to satisfy all of them because, as I told you, the students are asked to select up to 5 opportunities. And in this sense, we were able to of course, not in all cases was the first choice for the students. But I have to say, in most of the cases, we were able to satisfy the students' expectations. I have to say that the system is not a rigid one. What I mean is that, of course, I have strict contacts with the companies. This means that if I see that the students is very much engaged with a specific project and is very much willing to find his place in one of the companies, and if the company hasn't found yet another student for his internship, of course, I will drop a call to the responsible of the company, and will tell him, but why do you don't want this one? He's very much engaged, and he could be good. So what we have done in the first edition is putting a lot of flexibility in the system. As a director of the master, I think the students um, of the first edition can confirm that the flexibility was one of the main traits of how I have tried to manage this master, and this will be the same for the second edition. Of course, we have rules, but because this is essential, otherwise the system is not going to work. But at the same time, since the class is small, 20 or 25 people in the class, and since the network of companies is a large one, but not hundreds of companies, there is room for making some good decisions by mixing things. Officially, there is a final document you have to prepare, but this is um, a very short one in my in what what we have done in the first year is to try to reduce as much as possible the bureaucracy which is involved in the master. This applies, for example, to the master thesis. What I would like to forward with this master is I don't want to have students who are there and whose main aim is to pass the exams to have one more title in their CV. I think people who are going to I would like to have people attending the master who are really interested in what they are listening to. I think this is very important. So what I'm telling and asking to all of the lecturers, I do not want to formalize very much the exam. I do not have an issue for the student who is there and didn't participate and do not want to participate to the classes and do not want to study and is not interested. I'm not interested in this student. In the first edition, this was very clear. The students were very much engaged in all of the activities, and they were So I would say the exam is really only a formality. This applies to most of the modules, not all of them, because the decision on how to carry out the exam, the final examination, is of the teacher himself. The same applies to the final report. So very short one, just because we have to prepare a sort of a thesis, but I'm not interested in what you write there. I'm interested in the fact that your internship is a nice one. I'm interested in the fact that you have better job opportunities after having participated in the master. So, Gustavo, just 3 minutes. Gustavo was one of the students in the first edition. Just 3 minutes to tell how was your experience with the master.
Okay, thank you very much, Francesco. It's a pleasure to be with you and the other guys today here to talk about the master. Well, what I can say is that I'm very happy about the decision that I made. For me, it was a big career change. I am not a young student. I graduated 13 years ago, and I have worked ever since in the oil and gas industry. I decided to change to climate change sustainability, so I chose this master at Politecnico, and I can say that I'm 100% satisfied. The courses were very good. The professors are also really world class, not only from Politecnico, but from other universities around the world. We had the opportunity to have lectures from professors from Cambridge, Berkeley, and I hope they'll be available again in the second edition. Not only that, all the support from Laio and the Elisa and the others from Politecnico it's truly awesome. They give us all the support that we need. Torino, I don't know if most of you guys probably know it, is a great city to live and study. So I really wish you all the best of luck in the application process. And maybe, hopefully we can see again each other here in Torino next year, everybody part of this big climate change community. Finally, about the internship, I'm doing internship at Enel for 1.5 months right now, and everything is going very well. I'm learning a lot, and I'm using the knowledge that I attain and during the classes in the work that I do. So finally, again, thank you, Lai, for the participation, for inviting me to speak, and wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gustavo. Yes, there will be practical classes, exactly as you are writing. We will be working with data and analysis, and we will apply specific softwares, for example, pertaining with carbon footprinting, pertaining with many of the issues of which are involved in climate change. As I told you, this is a very vast problem, and we will tackle. Of course, Politecnico is a school of engineering and architecture, so the tools that we are going to use are the typical ones. So we are very much. What I would like to say is that we are used to apply practical tools and to work in the lab and to apply data analysis and programming tools. So the answer is yes, of course. Okay, so thanks a lot, and I hope to see you around next year. Ciao a tutti.